Hi, I'm Cyprien Bosserelle. I'm a researcher at Earth Science New Zealand New Business Unit, and I do work on uh, inundation hazards, whether they're coastal or from river, so anything to do with flooding. I try to simulate inundation hazard, so wherever water is not supposed to be, and I develop the models that I use to try to predict where inundation is going to go and where people are affected by the hazard. I have a master from a French university from Montpellier and a PhD from the University of Western Australia. I love the hydrodynamics, how water is moving around, how waves are moving around. I'm a surfer, I love being in the water. It's a good excuse to just be in the water too. It's being able to predict with computer model the kind of things that we see that are so incredible with extreme events, big inundation. There are things that you don't really see, and being able to use models to replicate these kind of things are quite fascinating to me. It was a little bit of a challenge with English because of people from different background with different accents trying to understand. That was quite interesting, but I was also with a bunch of French students, and that was also interesting because we ended up at the beginning starting to speak French more than English, and we had to set up ground rules on speaking English to each other to improve our English. But yeah, the working with people with different accents and things like that was a little bit of a challenge. Being understood as well. I guess my English maybe wasn't that good, but I guess it kind of put the challenge on improving my English and communicating better, but it helped in the end because it kind of forced me to have sets of rules around when I think I understand something is to repeat it back to make sure that I understood what I understood, and kind of it actually gives you some pretty good communication skills when you have to sort of these challenges to work with. I work on hazards, so success is when the models that I create are useful at either preventing disasters or helping people get out of the way, and that doesn't happen very often, but it's something that I guess is the silver lining when there's a disaster, is when I was able to kind of help and do contribute to make people safer. In the institute that I work in, there is a lot of people that are really smart but with slightly different background, and whenever you have a challenge you can open up to people, and I think that's a bit of the New Zealand way of doing things, is that people like to have a chit chat about things, and when you have a challenge you can talk to anyone around the office about whatever the challenge is, and it's really cool because people have different perspective and they offer their point of view, and it doesn't last very long as a challenge because you get lots of options when you do that, so it's a good way of dealing with those issues. Sometimes you get stuck into your own rabbit hole, and as a researcher we're always pretty good at kind of trying to go deep into the problem. I really love Kaikoura in New Zealand, mostly because of the ocean. There's always dolphins around.